All right, good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing great today. Welcome in the 29th of December. Wow, it's super early here, as you might be able to tell by the lights. I don't know, just up early, just got inspired a little bit this morning. So, hello, here we are. Let's see what wants to come through for you guys today. Thank you for all the notes about the 300,000 subscribers. We're really excited about that. 2024 is going to be a big year, and I am dedicating 2024 to be about helping you understand your own intuition and access your intuition on a higher level. So that's my Pathfinders group for 2024. If you want to jump on, we're going to start later in January, but in early in January, we're going to talk a lot more about what intuition even is. Okay, so let's see where we're going today. Valiant courage. I'm going to lay this all out and then I'll talk about this. Great adventure. Choosing your path. I think this is one of those things that some of you may not know about yourself, but you have the capability of choosing your path. And I think that, like, as a concept, you're like, sure, I choose my path. But then there's a lot of conversation about how I'm stuck or I can't move or this is how society makes me be or something like that. I've heard a lot of those kinds of words. And what I want to say to you is that there's such a thing as kind of getting lost in a timeline where, you're being triggered into a lot of patterns that you're needing to heal. And that's why a certain timeline stays with you, or you're not able to find the exit door of a timeline. You've made some choices, and it's there are some beliefs that you have that still exist that keep you in that timeline. So it's not like, oh, wait a second, I'm choosing to get out of this timeline. That's fine. That's a start. But there's the why are you there beliefs are the ones that are holding you there. Okay. And that's part of what I'm talking about with intuition. It's like kind of understanding when a belief is like a karmic signature or something that is needing to be dealt with. And, some of you are now processing what I'm saying. You're processing your own belief systems, beliefs that have calcified into a conviction, right? That this is how the world works. Okay. And so some of you are saying, I'm going to deal with that. I'm going to deal with this sort of identity I have created that aligns with those karmic beliefs or those energetic signatures in my life. People who are rescuers, that's their identity. And so if they stop rescuing people around them, they don't know who they are, but it does open the door to more choices. Okay. People who are, have the hero kind of identity that aligns with rescuers. It looks a little different. The frequency is a little bit different in that one. There's something about like being looked up to because of being that hero. The ability to do things, but then be recognized for it. A lot of rescuers aren't really recognized for it and in fact get drained. But heroes are people who that's their signature of being the one who's, taking care of everybody, and everybody recognizes that and appreciates that. A lot of rescuers aren't appreciated. Okay. So there's something here about, it's going to take courage to get out of an identity that is cutting off your choices, because that's the thing there's something you're getting from it that you believe is true. And that's why choices don't show up or the door doesn't present itself, because you're still believing that that's the right thing for you, or that I'm getting some kind of reward from that. It could be negative. It could be negative, could be positive, right? A friend who's a teacher always says kids would rather be praised than punished, and punished than ignored. Okay. So there's something real in that statement. I get a lot of chills when I say that, because kids that want attention or need more than what they're getting at home, some can sometimes turn into, well, negative attention is better than no attention at all. So it just depends on what their karmic pathway is. But sometimes we get stuck in timelines because we have an identity that we still haven't reconciled with. That, oh, if I stop rescuing other people, I will appear selfish. And that's about caring what other people think of me. Okay? All right. So we're going to do a lot more of this in 2024. I feel like it's going to untie a lot of things for a lot of people. And I also feel like this is the pathway in an AI world to really understanding what is true. That's why I think a lot of tarot readers have Sagittarian energy, because I always talk about Sag being, if you lie to a Sag, you're dead, right? Like you're done. So there's something about the frequency of truth that Sagittarians find to be so all about what they're here to do. And, you know, if you resonate with that, you might be a Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. I'll do the Sag reading for January right after this. I keep saying June. When I'm talking about January, I keep saying June. So I realize that that's the 6 month, you know, at the end of June is the 6 month period of the year. The first half of the year is done. I'm already at June for some reason. But, you know, there's something, you know, you might want to write this in your journal, that there's something tying January and June together. Now, Pluto going direct. Why do I keep saying that too? Pluto is direct. Pluto is moving from Capricorn into Aquarius in January. And that's a big shift in energy, going from an earth to an air sign. That's a big shift. And also we have Uranus going direct. Okay. And Uranus is direct. That is Aquarian energy. But Uranian energy is about surprise. So I'll talk more about that in the extended. I'll talk more about that Uranus. I've talked a ton about Pluto, but we'll talk more about Uranus in the extended. Okay. So let's see where we're going with this reading. 9 of Pentacles, 6 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles. Some of you are helping somebody, or the reason that you're watching me or watching this channel or caring, or any channel, or caring about your intuition, is because your job is to get yourself right. Your job is to get yourself centered, your job so that you can help other people. Okay. And I feel like going towards something really solid and beautiful. This is especially true about a relationship, Hierophant, and the world. So there's some of you are finally getting to the point. Okay, there's a lot coming in right now. So some of you are finally getting to the point that instead of focusing on the twin flame, or instead of focusing on the other person and what the other person is doing, you're focusing on yourself. You're aligning yourself with health, vitality, financial stability. You have recognized that it's time to turn your attention away from looking at other people and what they're doing, and to focus on yourself. Finally recognizing that. And by doing that, you're bringing in the commitment. So the cards that are underneath, I was talking to somebody who was taking my tarot class this week, and they're like, well, I don't get the cards that are underneath the deck. The cards that are underneath the deck are the cards that show you what's going on either in the universal unconscious, what is unconscious to you, or what is happening even though you don't see it. Okay, that's what's happening underneath the deck. Now, where's the reading here, please? 6 of Cups, Emperor. Yeah, I feel like this person, okay, 8 of Swords. Shut up, Mary Jo, wait for the message. Okay, Moon. 5 of Swords. I see it. 4 of Swords. Okay, so there's illumination. That full moon in Cancer that we just had illuminated everything that I just said. Sparkly, everything that I just said. I think that's my phone. It is. I'm going to turn this off. What I just said to you is, but that's, you know, that's a hit too. That everything I just said about their own pathway, feeling stuck in their own pathway, which this is, so this could be you or a person you're dealing with. Even this divine masculine, this is Aries energy, but I see this a lot as the DM, as the divine masculine. And just know whenever we talk about divine feminine, divine masculine, you have both inside you. So this is not necessarily about a love relationship external to you, although it could be, but really this is about when we talk about in order to be love or in order to have real love, you must love yourself first. And to some people, because we have in our culture and in many cultures, this idea that to focus on the self is selfish. It's true. It is. But that word has been distorted. That word has been distorted over time to mean something negative. And I believe it was distorted because there are people on this planet who want you to do everything for them. They're called vampires. They don't want to take responsibility. They want you to take responsibility for them. And so when you turn your attention away from that and turn your attention toward yourself, there's a societal backlash for that. And that person triggers in you something that was planted there, a belief that to take care of the self is selfish, and that's a negative thing. And when we look at this Nine of Pentacles, this is someone who's taken care of herself, okay? And what unfolds from that is longevity, stability, health, happiness, joy, love, commitment in a healthy way, not in a codependent way, not in a way where someone abdicates responsibility for themselves in many ways. And this is not conscious for a lot of people. Don't get me wrong. I don't think there's a bunch of people sitting around with dolls sticking needles in them. I don't think that's true at all. I think this is a societal programming thing. And the full moon in Cancer that we just had, I feel like is illuminating this. This Five of Swords is about someone sticking pins in a little you doll. I mean, literally, it's swords. And blaming you for things that they perpetrated on you. Blaming other people. Unable, incapable of facing accountability. Incapable of, that could not be me. It must be everybody else. When you hear people blaming other people, it doesn't mean that they're all a bunch of toxic narcissists, although some of them are. But what it does mean is there's a societal program at work there. Because when you take responsibility for you, watch what changes. Watch who gets angry about that. Okay? Because I think that's what we're healing. I think we're keeping the divine masculine here internally, the wounded masculine is the energy of I should be revered without question. Okay? And I can do no wrong, right? So that's a toxic version of of masculine, a wounded masculine energy. Masculine energy can also be, I got to put everybody else on my back financially, right? In some way, shape, or form. So I can't move. I can't make choices for myself because I've taken everybody else on my own back. Now, I think that that's what one of the wounded masculine archetypes that are existing or showing up loudly in our society. And I feel like that's being triggered in a lot of people. And it's also being perpetrated on others who are not that archetype, right? There's sort of this like, how do we work to heal that? There's a Four of Swords healing energy there. Judgment, Queen of Cups. This Ace of Pentacles is so beautiful. This is about planting the seeds for the future. This is one of what's known as a gate card. Okay. And it's planting the seeds based on the heart. So the divine feminine is showing up to balance that. So this could be an internal thing, or this could be an actual twin flame message. But the first card that came out is the Six of Cups. And so this is about programming from childhood. This is about nostalgia about how it used to be. And that was a seed that was planted, and why we have the wounded masculine showing up right now. And I do see that there's a sense of like, and I know this to be true from talking to a lot of people that I see, and I've been to a lot of retreats, meeting a lot of new people. There's a lot of conversation about what 2024 and 2025 holds, and there's a lot of sense of looking outward, right? Looking out to the world of energetic signature that matches me better, or is aligned with, okay, I've done all this healing work. It doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm moving to Paris, but it could be. It can be about, I feel like there are a lot of people who are looking out into the world and going, what's going to work for this new signature, especially those of you who are on the spiritual path. If you've been listening to the energy and the readings about loving yourself, and being kind to self, and that is the only way love can come into you. And I feel like there's been a lot of like I hate that idea. Why can't I just focus on them? Why can't I just help them clear their bullshit? Why do I have to be focused on my bullshit? Because I would rather be a rescuer of someone else's BS and help them clear, rather than me focus on my own. And that's because it's societally discouraged for people who want love in their life. They think it's an external thing. And I'm here to tell you that it's planting the seed in your own heart, in your own life. It's like there's a wake-up call that showed up. And I've been talking quite a bit about how truth, Ace of Swords, is coming through in a lot of readings recently, about truth being shown, especially from the heart, because this is Cancer energy. Cancer is ruled by the moon, right? And it's interesting because Cancer is the opposite energy of Capricorn, which is why we have a full moon in Cancer right now. We're in Capricorn time. So the opposite sign's moon is the full moon. Okay. So Cancer is mother and Capricorn is father. So what is the wounded masculine of the father, right, showing up that is helping us see our truth around our own heart? Wow. Where did that come from? So there's definitely that feeling of, just because the Emperor is sitting so heavy on this reading, and so is the Hierophant, right? This structure, this hierarchical structure that we're dealing with right now is tying up and limiting choices. And so the key to unlocking the choices is to see illuminated the truth and recognize the toxic patterns that are existing and do the healing work around that for oneself. Okay? Planting the seed from the heart is the way forward. And that's the healed feminine that holds space for the masculine to do that work. And I'm telling you that as much as I have worked on my own self, which is why I continue to do readings, I don't think I could do readings if I'm not paying attention to my own healing and what I need to look at, my own patterns, my own bullshit, all this kind of stuff. And I feel like the feminine is to a place where the masculines who have it on their karmic pathway to do that healing are recognizing it. I've had several conversations very recently about this courageous act of healing, of self-love, where it's previously shown up as the lack of self-love shows up as cancer. The lack of self-love shows up as alcoholism. The lack of self-love. There's all these beliefs tied up with those things, and the body keeps the score, right? So, um, in order to really sort of work through, it's interesting that we're talking about cancer because we just had that Cancer full moon. So there's something very healing about the truth that's coming through right now, this full moon that we just had a day or so ago. Really lighting the path. Gateway to the future. So let's continue on. I'm going to pull some cards for each zodiac sign and give you a little bit of guidance on your own path here. Let's keep going. So the link is below if you want to continue on with me, Pathfinders. Let's just keep on going. All right, I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.